My name's Colonel Jeff Pixley. I'm the commander of basic military training. Thank you for joining the United States Air Force. Thank you for raising your hand and promising to give of yourself, to sacrifice, to do something that most Americans never do. You probably want to know how to be successful in basic military training. Fight for yourself. Don't give up on yourself. And when you're about to, work with each other, lean on each other, because you'll be successful when you are a team.
Remember why you are here. Remember those people that came before you. Everything that you do needs to come with a passion and a vigor that is unmatched.
When you leave basic military training, you're going to understand how to wear the uniform. You're going to understand what it is to live by the core values, and you're going to know the value of your teammates. If you live up to my expectations, you'll be here. 7 weeks from today, you'll be about to graduate.
Drill is an integral part of military history, a prominence that rests on the fact that its fundamental purpose was to prepare troops for battle. For the most part, drill procedures practiced in the past were identical to the tactical maneuvers employed on the battlefield. It was this aspect of drill which made it such an important part of training. Even today, drill remains a necessary and useful training activity for instilling discipline and esprit de corps. Over 240 years ago, General Washington enlisted the assistance of Baron von Steuben, a distinguished Prussian officer, to help instill discipline. Baron von Steuben arrived at Valley Forge in February of 1778, facing an army of several thousand undisciplined, half-starved, wretched men in rags. To correct these conditions, he set to work immediately and wrote regulations designed to teach the discipline of drill to a model company of 120 selected men. Discipline became a part of the military for these individuals as they learned to respond to commands without hesitation. As they mastered the art of drill and began to work as a team, this group developed a collective sense of pride in themselves and in their unit. Watching this model company perform, observers were amazed to see how quickly and efficiently the troops could be massed and maneuvered into different battle formations. Later, members of this model company were assigned throughout the regular army to teach drill. It was through this simple emphasis on drill that the effectiveness and efficiency of Washington's Continental Army were improved. In 1789, Baron von Steuben wrote the American Army's first field manual, the regulations for the order and discipline of the United States troops. The drill procedures placed into effect at Valley Forge remained unchanged for over 85 years, and many of these same procedures are still in use today. One form of drill is the salute. Since early times, men-at-arms have used some form of salute as an exchange of greeting, the most popular of which has been the hand salute. This exchange has been preserved and its use continued in all modern militaries which inherit their traditions from the age of chivalry. Throughout today's ceremony, you will see the flights presenting arms as one form of the military salute. The civilian counterpart of the salute is manifested in various ways, such as placing the right hand over the heart when the national anthem is played, or raising the right hand when greeting a friend. The military salute is given in the same manner as a gesture of recognition and a friendly greeting to a comrade in the honorable profession of arms. To maintain the proper decorum and respect for events such as this, we ask that you abide by the following standards while you are here. First, there will be times that you will be asked to stand for the invocation, the playing of the national anthem, the playing of musical honors, the playing of the Air Force song, the reciting of the oath of enlistment and the Airman's Creed. Second, we ask that you remain silent during these times, reflecting on the price that has been paid for our freedom. Third, we ask that you pay respect to the flag during the national anthem and as it passes during review. Military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. Civilians should stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may render a hand salute or place their right hand over their heart. After the last note of the national anthem and after the flags have passed, you may return your hand to your side. As flights pass in review, applause is appropriate, but please, limit that applause so that others may hear the narration of the names and hometowns of the military training instructors. Please reserve the strictest respect during our oath of enlistment. During the oath, service members pledge their lives to support and defend the Constitution and our country. At this time, we'd like to take a moment to inform you of the specific flight locations on the parade field. As viewed from the bleachers, from your left to your right, Flight 720, led by Master Sergeant Michael Jones. Flight 721, led by Technical Sergeant Timothy McKinnon. Flight 722, led by Technical Sergeant Juan Pedraza. Flight 723, led by Technical Sergeant Avery Marshall. Flight 724, led by Staff Sergeant Eric Gallup. Flight 725, led by Technical Sergeant Christina Salinas. In the center of the parade field is the Color Guard, led by Technical Sergeant James Stewart. The flight selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags is PT and Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 731 and Flight 732, led by Staff Sergeant Donovan Brumfield. Flight 726, led by Technical Sergeant Devin Elliott. Flight 727, led by Technical Sergeant Victor Gonzalez. Flight 728, led by Technical Sergeant Joseph Hyder. Flight 729, led by Technical Sergeant Gabriel Salazzo. Flight 730, led by Technical Sergeant Desmond Anderson. At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Jackson.
If you are so willing, please join me in prayer. Sovereign and Holy One, we are here today to celebrate this graduation, this metamorphosis. It is a transformation from citizen to airman. It is a transformation from student to practitioner. It is a transformation from those who are learning about to those who are walking out this mission, this calling. And today, looking to their future, I bless them, Lord. May you be with them. May you keep them. May you go before them, sustain them, and protect them. As they go out from here and into their futures, may you remind them of the great things that they had accomplished. May they be uplifted when they are down, strengthened when they are weak, and supported when they are alone. I speak blessing over them, O sovereign God. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony, the Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Colonel Jeff Pixley, accompanied by his wife, Andrea. The Senior Enlisted Leader, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Dan Anderson. The Reviewing Official, the Honorable Frank Kendall, the Secretary of the Air Force. The Commander, Air Education and Training Command, Major General Brian Robinson. The Senior Enlisted Leader, the Command Chief, Air Education and Training Command, Chief Master Sergeant Eric Thompson. From the Graduating Squadron, the Commander, 324th Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Michelle Sterling. The Senior Enlisted Leader, 324th Training Squadron, Chief Master Sergeant Alan Frank. Also in attendance with us today, the Assistant Secretary of the Air Force, Manpower and Reserve Affairs, Honorable Alex Wagner. The Chief of Staff, Secretary of the Air Force, Mr. Matthew Williams. The Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel Lauren Corshane. The Command Chief, Air Force Recruiting Service, Chief Master Sergeant Antonio Goldstrom, accompanied by his wife, Mary. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Our Commander of Airmen is Technical Sergeant Benjamin Judy. The Honorable Frank Kendall will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with a foundation to serve in the most powerful military the world has ever known. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for the generations that will follow. (737th Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to Flight 721 for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 19 September 2022 to 4 November 2022. Signed, Jeffrey Pixley, Colonel, United States Air Force. The Commander's Excellence Flight was led by Technical Sergeant Timothy McKinnon and Technical Sergeant Richard Simmons. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of musical honors. Thank you. Please be seated.
March to command and renew.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates passing review today represent a portion of the 35,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737th Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest Air Force. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and the discipline of the Airmen and Guardians. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass and review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The men and women recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish acts as members of the United States military in armed conflicts. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all of our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Now, passing review, the Commander of Airmen, Technical Sergeant Benjamin Judy, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown Davenport, Iowa. Flight 720, led by Master Sergeant Michael Jones, Military Training Instructor, hometown Jacksonville, North Carolina. Commander's Excellence Flight, Flight 721, led by Technical Sergeant Timothy McKinnon, Military Training Instructor, hometown Glen St. Mary, Florida. Flight 722, led by Technical Sergeant Juan Pedraza, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Eastford, Connecticut. Flight 723, led by Technical Sergeant Avery Marshall, Military Training Instructor, hometown Walder, Maryland. Flight 724, led by Staff Sergeant Eric Gallup, Military Training Instructor, hometown Anaheim, California. Flight 725, led by Technical Sergeant Christina Salinas, Military Training Instructor, hometown Three Rivers, Texas. The Color Guard, led by Technical Sergeant James Stewart, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The flight selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags, PT and Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 731 and Flight 732, led by Staff Sergeant Donovan Brumfield, military training instructor, hometown Franklin, Louisiana. Flight 726, led by Technical Sergeant Devin Elliott, military training instructor, hometown Oakland, California. Flight 727, led by Technical Sergeant Victor Gonzalez, military training instructor, hometown Riverside, California. Flight 728, led by Technical Sergeant Joseph Hyder, military training instructor, hometown Tulsa, Oklahoma. Flight 729, led by Technical Sergeant Gabriel Salazzo, military training instructor, hometown Millville, New Jersey. Flight 730, led by Technical Sergeant Desmond Anderson, master military training instructor, hometown Blytheville, Arkansas. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing and singing of the Air Force song. Thank you. You may be seated. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by trainings from the 323rd Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Staff Sergeant Jacob Wright, military training instructor, hometown Llano, Texas. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. In addition to completing all basic training syllabus and training requirements, Drum and Bugle Corps members commit additional training hours for practice throughout their weeks of training. Their extra effort and commitment demonstrate teamwork and the Air Force's core value, service before self. With each Drum and Bugle Corps performance, they honor the long-standing tradition of live music at formal military ceremonies. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence they displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank all the family and friends who are here in support of those graduating today. Your words of encouragement help motivate these graduates through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States military and basic military training, we extend our thanks to the many family and friends of America for your support of our mission and the greatest air power the world has ever known. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Frank Kendall will now come forward and address our graduating class.
Good morning. Welcome. What an honor to look out into the audience and see all the families joining us today. 7.5 weeks ago, you entrusted us with our nation's most valuable treasure, your loved ones. Your support. Successfully complete basic military training, join the world's greatest air force. I want to say thank you for your support and encouragement, but more importantly, thank you for your trust. It is my great honor to introduce the 570 airmen of the 324th Training Squadron and our nation's newest airmen. Many of you in the audience had the chance to reunite with these trainees yesterday. And I'm sure the rest of you are eagerly awaiting your chance to do so today. You may notice that these airmen are no longer the same people you knew 7.5 weeks ago. I remember that transformation in my own son when he completed basic training shortly before deploying to Iraq. It was hard to believe that so much about him had changed, but changed for the better in such a short time. There are many reasons for this transformation, but I think a lot can be summarized in my mantra since becoming Secretary of the Air Force. One team, one fight. To a new airman, you are now part of our one team of airmen and guardians, along with the Joint Force, our allies, and our partners. You have transformed because you are now part of a team with a higher purpose. Very quickly, I'd like to give you a sense of that purpose. The one fight we all share, and the heritage you are joining. Since the birth of our Air Force 75 years ago, our world has experienced decades of unprecedented security and prosperity, made possible by American leadership. We have deterred conflict between great powers, defeated regional aggressors, fought terrorism, and seen an explosion of democratic growth and development around the world. None of that was possible without a strong professional military committed to the fundamental values enshrined in our inspired and inspiring Constitution. Those fundamental values and inalienable rights are now being challenged by authoritarian aggressors in ways we haven't seen or witnessed for decades. Those authoritarian powers are threatening and attacking freedom beyond their borders. Our heritage, now your heritage, is a commitment deter that aggression, and defeat it if deterrence is not successful. You are now part of our decisive advantage in this strategic competition. Our enemies are deterred by a professional, disciplined, valued, empowered, and well-equipped joint force of men and women committed to the ideals of liberty and democracy. In a moment, you will demonstrate that commitment as you raise your right hand and swear an oath to support and defend the Constitution. This has a long and important history. The first act of the United States Congress was the Oath Act, signed by President George Washington on June 1st, 1789, setting the foundation for the commitment you will make momentarily. Unlike our authoritarian competitors, your allegiance will not to be a particular party or group, or to a particular leader, but rather to a democratic process in a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. This ideal is our greatest strength. With that in mind, let me share with you Abraham Lincoln's words that remind us where our power comes from. And it will always be in our interest to live our shared values. Let us have faith that right makes right, that right makes might. And in that faith, let us, to the end, dare to do our duty as we understand it. As these new airmen take the oath, I want to address their families one more time. You may not be raising your right hands to take an oath, but you will no doubt be a valuable part of the team making important contributions and sacrifices. Thank you in advance for the support you offer. And now, for our new airmen, I have just one question for you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? Congratulations.
Instructors, place your flights at attention.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Erwin.
Thank you, the Honorable Frank Kendall. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing while our graduates recite the Airman's Creed and for the departure of the official party. I am an American airman. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute as the U.S. flags pass. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not uniformed may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all of our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass. As viewed from the bleachers to the left of the reviewing stand, flights 720, 721, 722, 723, 724, and 725. And to the right of the reviewing stand, flights 726, 727, 728, 729, and 730. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seating area. The graduates will be dismissed momentarily. Graduates